Well, my friends, how are you? We're going to see. Today, we're going to talk about a pretty interesting subject, right? And that subject, it's the 50th anniversary of the movie called Jaws. This movie came out in 1975. And let's be honest. Before Jaws, sharks weren't public enemy number one. No, weren't. They were mysterious, maybe scary, but not something that haunts people's dreams. Jaws created a shift in cultural psychology. After the film came out in 1975, something changed. People were suddenly terrified of going into the water. It wasn't about statistics or real shark attacks. No. It was about imagination. About that deep, dark unknown beneath your feet. Beneath your feet, beaches saw drowsing visitors. People swore of the ocean. Even today, many admit that they are scared of sharks because of this movie. It didn't just entertain, it rewired how we think about nature itself. And personally, I remember to not be able to sleep at nights while I was a kid because of that movie and that subject. A production on the edge of collapse. Point number 2. Sorry, previous one was point number 1. Point number 2. This film nearly destroyed Steven Spielberg's career before it even started. Production was plagued with technical issues. The mechanical shark, affectionately named Bruce, why? I don't have an idiot, constantly broke down. They shot on the open ocean, which was unheard of and almost suicidal for a film of this scale. Waves, weather, boats, drifting. Nothing worked as planned. The schedule more than doubled. The budget exploded in Spielberg. He was rarely on his 30th. 35. This will be the end of him. It was chaos, but it was that chaos that forced Spielberg to be innovative. It proved that sometimes being pushed to the edge unlocks greatness. And of course, my friend, you know how diamonds are made through an amazing, incredible pressure. So, we're talking about the ocean, we sometimes think about the space as the final frontier. But, oh boy, the ocean, it's the final frontier. Point number 3. Fear of what you can't see. This is one of the most brilliant accidents in history. Since the shark wasn't working, Spielberg had to adapt. Instead of showing it, he suggested it. He used water-level camera shots, eerie silence, shadows, and of course the music. The result was psychological terror. What we imagine, it's always scarier than what we see. This idea, the terror of the unseen, is pure fiction. And it's the reason Jaws still terrifies. Even after 50 years, the shark didn't have to be there. Because in your mind, it already was. And of course, I cannot avoid remember Alien, the movie. Do you remember that the alien was also a pretty problem for production, and they also suggested it, and it works because also the alien doesn't have any eyes, so you don't know what it's going to destroy you. You don't know what is seeing you from behind the veil. Point number 4. The two-note monster, John Williams score. Well, you hear those two notes and instantly feel tension. That theme by John Williams is simple, yes, but it's the sound of approaching the air. And it was revolutionary. Williams turns music into the monster itself. Whenever that theme played, we knew something was coming. Even if we couldn't see it, it was primal, like a heartbeat speeding up. That score won him an Oscar, and it changed how we use music in horror and suspense films forever. I can imagine the movie Eyes Wide Shut, made by Mr. God Stanley Kubrick. It works the same. It has few notes, but less sometimes is even more. Number 5. The first true blockbuster. Before Jaws, big movies didn't open everywhere at once. No. Films would debut in just a few cities and slowly expand, but Universal took a gamble. Launched Jaws wide, in hundreds of theaters in the middle of the summer. A seasoned studios used to avoid. So what happens? Jaws became the highest grossing movie in history at the time. People line up around the block. It defined the term blockbuster. And it invented a new model, the summer movie event. Without Jaws, we probably wouldn't have Star Wars, Jurassic Park, or the Marvel summer takeovers. Point number 6. A political message beneath the plot. Jaws isn't just about a shark. It's about the denial, about leadership ignoring danger to protect business and tourism. Sounds familiar? The Major refused to close the beaches not because he's evil, but because he fears economic damage. It's a story when we seen in real life over and over, from oil spills to pandemics. In a way, Jaws is a warning about what happens when greed wins over public safety. It's a monster movie, yes, but it's also a social commentary disguised in films and TV. 3 men, 3 worlds. The trio at the heart of Jaws is genius. Brody, the cop, is an everyman. Hopper, the scientist, brings logic and data. Quint, the shark hunter, is raw experience and trauma. Together, They represent three-way humans face fear. Fear with duty, fear with knowledge, and fear with force. Their chemistry is electric, and it wasn't all acting. The tension between Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw was real. It added a grit to the scenes, and of course, there's that famous monologue, Quint's story about the USS Indianapolis, a haunting tale, deliberate in near silence that pulls you in like a deep current. Point number 8, practical effects that change everything. Here's what Jaws proves. Limitations can be blessings. Today, they probably animate the shark with CGI, but back then, they had to build it, film it, fight with it. That gave the movie a sense of reality that's impossible to fake. You can feel the salt, the water, the weight. The actors were seasick. The ocean was unpredictable. All of that bled into the screen. It's why the fear in Jaws feels so raw. Because it was. Point number 9. A legacy that refused to die. Jaws didn't just inspire other shark movies, it shaped pop culture. You can see his influence in thrillers, horror, sci-fi, even documentaries from Alien to The Meg. The DNA of Jaws is everywhere. Its pacing, structure, and suspense building are still studied in film schools. And the idea that a movie can be terrifying without showing much violence, Ned's legacy too. 50 years later, it still references, parodied, and copied, and still works. Point number 10. Real-world consequences. Killing the wrong monster. Here's something many people don't know. After Jaws came out, people start killing sharks. Lots of them. Sport hunters, fishermen, even local governments join in. The beard-built spark turned into a real-world ecological disaster. Years later, Peter Benchley, the author of the original novel, said he regretted what the story had caused. He became a passionate advocate for shark conservation, ironically. Jaws scared people, yes, but it also showed how powerful stars can be and how careful we need to be with them. Point number 11 and last, bonus. From theme park rides to parodies in The Simpsons and Family Guy, Jaws has become part of the collective memory. It references in everything from TikToks to political speeches. Even people who haven't seen the movie know the music. That's rare. That's a rare. That's iconic. It's not just a classic, it's a cultural landmark. And the fact that we're still talking about it, half a century later, is proof of his genius. Thank you so much for listening to this, and have a good day, good night, have a good dreams, or good day. And happy 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws. I'm going to see that movie today with the popcorn arms and my eyes on the TV and my feet on soaking water. Goodbye.